I wish I would have had music. I'm listening to this guy talk about like or like front wheel drive is more safe, and everybody knows that and everything. But it's like you do have more control over the car if you have rear wheel drive. That's it. There's good and bad to both of them. Oh, I just need something to listen to.
Here we go. The high notes versus
okay, this.
We gotta
I don't
talk
know.
about the Epstein stuff. Okay?
I don't know, I just clicked on something. I can't hear anything. Here we go.
There's three big things going on with regards to releasing the Epstein list.
I can't see chat. If somebody's in chat, I'm sorry.
So the first
I'll read
thing
in
over
a
here
bit.
is that some of the
I just
Epstein
really want to win this. We're on the last
are
round.
literally camping outside
This is the
of concerts
finals
and
of the
demanding
finals.
the list gets released, or they're going to publicly announce it themselves. We're having a press conference.
In the year 2000, I was taken
I had
to
not
Jeffrey
planned on
Epstein's
streaming.
island while on a
I just
photo
kinda, like,
shoot
turned it on.
a nearby island. Who I saw and what I experienced there was a glimpse into a very dark and disturbing world. Epstein's reach went to the very top of fashion, arts, and entertainment. This did not...
Seriously, because I heard there was nobody
Okay,
on the
might
list
have to
but
take
him.
you off
I
the
heard
desk,
he was
buddy.
the only sole perpetrator of all these crimes, and no one else was involved. And there's no point in asking about it, and stop looking into it, because it was just Jeffrey Epstein, a one-man band.
Congress must choose. Will you continue to protect predators, or will you finally protect survivors? I would like to announce here today,
Okay, Buck,
us
you're sitting
Epstein
right on my hand.
survivors
I
have been
can't have
discussing
that.
creating our own list. We know the names.
As
Many
cute
of us
as
were
it
abused
is,
by them.
it is getting
Now
in the way.
together as survivors,
Okay,
we will
I can't listen to that chick. I just can't.
Confidentially.
Why is she the one speaking? Please, get somebody else to do the speech. She is awful at it. I'm just clicking on random videos because for some reason YouTube is pushing more like shit to me that I'm not even subscribed to.
It's an oil rig, and it's been here since
Who cares about an
1983.
oil
It was
rig?
built by Chevron.
Why the
It
fuck
pumped
is
out
this on
11
my
million
page?
barrels in its day, but its day is over. It's abandoned
You
now.
know?
It's been abandoned since 2022, and it's not the only one out here. There are literally hundreds of these abandoned structures, from Louisiana to Alabama to Texas. They're on the continental shelf and stretching out to deeper and deeper
I swear,
waters.
yeah, I
My interest
shot
in this
that
subject
fucking
started when I
straight
saw
at the-
all those
at
viral
the turret.
videos of
Everybody
people
saw
visiting
that.
and climbing all over abandoned oil rigs.
But that view, though.
I grew up on the Gulf, and it bothered me that these things were out there rotting. So I decided to do what we always do on Business Explains the World. Get out there and figure out how
Who cares? Not me. I mean, just somebody else cares, not me. Why Shigeru Miyamoto's shooting lasers out of his eyes?
Released about a month ago. I feel like that's enough time to say that it wasn't worth it. It's not
enough
worth
time to say.
$450 for a console that's plagued with problems.
Everyone.
It's barely an upgrade from the one before it. That if you bought it on release,
I could be British.
you may just be a little
could
bit
totally go
stupid.
British.
I know that's harsh to say, but I'm a harsh man. I've heard a lot of things. And not
Welcome to
one
Brixton,
good one
I'm in the
from
party with
anyone
Boris and
who isn't
Drillis.
a professional Nintendo dick sucker. I mean, what was really improved over the last console? It's got a bigger screen, except that screen is somehow worse than the one before it. Sure, it's 1080p,
Really?
like every screen ever produced in the
Yeah,
last
because it's
10
worse than
years,
the
but
OLED.
slower.
Because they put out
Slower
an
than the Switch
OLED.
1 on release. It's about 100 times slower than the OLED Switch, which I can only imagine was intentional at this point, so that they can sell you a Switch 2 OLED at some point. And even if
Yes,
that
so they
bigger
made a shitty screen
was
on
up to
purpose.
par, do you really want a bigger screen? Is it even
Fucking Nintendo,
portable
man.
at this point? I remember when a portable system meant it fit in your pocket, so you could, I don't know, take it places. If you need to put
How
it in
can
a
we sell them a
backpack,
worse
then just
value
use a
than what
laptop.
they
It's more
want?
powerful, can play more games, and maybe get some work done. I know you guys are allergic to that, me too, but we can imagine. Okay, well the screen is worse, but what about the controllers? Remember the Switch 1 had Joy-Con drift, that crazy thing that totally
Yeah, where's the
wasn't
Hall
happening,
effect?
that caused the sticks to just move in whatever
Nintendo
direction they
loves
wanted, to slowly drift
stick
off in
drift.
space,
They love
like I'm
that.
drifting
That's
this
their-
sentence way too
that's
long.
how they
Well,
made all their
actually,
money.
they didn't fix that at all. In fact, people are already reporting
Clearly isn't the games,
Joy-Con
I mean.
drift in the current controllers because they use the exact same system as the previous sticks. Now, those reports might be false. We don't have any major lawsuit this time, but they certainly have the ability to drift because it's the same system as the last console. And I personally,
I love this gun.
through the power of lying, have tested.
I just realized you can hold down the button on this gun and it makes it so much better.
And figured out that every single one of them will drift eventually. You have my guarantee. But Frogmire, they're magnetic now. Isn't that cool? It is kind of neat. Except one, now
Who
how
the
you
fuck's
hacked
shooting?
the previous
Can we go
Switch
somewhere?
doesn't work anymore. Which was the only reason to buy the previous Switch, was so that you could hack it. Also, this somehow made their like shitty Joy-Con controller even shittier. Honestly, it might be a fair trade-off. I don't know who used that like shitty plastic connector thing anyway, but it's just a note that somehow they made something worse.
Yoink.
They figured it out. Okay, so screen's worse. Joy-Cons are equal at best, possibly worse. So what else is new? Well, we got game chat now. Because before, you had to use an app. Now, you have Discord right on the console.
They're right on my
Except
ass.
it's not Discord. It's a shitty Nintendo service that you know won't work. You get to look at your friends in 360p. Oh wait, you actually have to buy a secondary peripheral to do this because the console doesn't include a camera. You know, the thing that's in every phone? So, rather than just connect to Discord, a free program that you can have on your phone which already has a camera, you can instead connect to your Switch, where I'm sure the content will be heavily monitored.
I have a sniper,
That,
there's
or
no
your
point in me
children
doing
simply
that.
aren't safe at all. From me, I will explain the Federal Reserve to all of the world's children, and you can't stop me. That you have to pay for, or you could just use a free program on your phone. Yeah, but the Nintendo chat has its own button. A button that you have to pay for and look at all the time. Okay, but surely the battery life might be better. Sure, it's not really a handheld because you can't fit it in your pocket, but you can still put it in your backpack, maybe play it on a plane ride or something. So how long's the battery? Oh, that's worse too. The battery life is worse too. It won't even
The battery
last you a
life is
long flight
worse?
anymore.
It's a
Another
bigger
win for the
console.
laptop,
What's the
I
point of
guess.
making it a
Surely,
bigger
it
console
couldn't
than
have
the
been that
Switch
hard to
1?
put a better battery in there. It might cost a little more, but with the
the
console
battery's not
already
bigger.
being $450, they couldn't have put anything better in this thing without making it impossible to buy for the normal consumer. Oh wait, except it didn't have to be $450 because the console in Japan sells for about $330. And it's not that the console is created in Japan, it's not manufactured in Japan, so it's not a shipping issue. So they could just charge $330 to everyone at any time. They're simply choosing not to. One, because the Japanese are racist and we must them a third time. And two, because fuck you, that's why. Oh, but you don't get it. The economy, the yen is down. You don't understand. Yeah, because I'm sure the Japanese consumer can afford less than those in Venezuela. So it's a worse console. Who cares? Who cares if it's worse? We buy video game consoles to play video games. And I'm sure the Switch
did it.
2 already
Chat.
has some great games. In
Chat,
fact,
we finally did
we
it.
have the whole Switch
Holy-
1 library. That's a
Wow.
lie, by the way. It actually doesn't have the whole Switch 1
I wasn't
library.
planning on
You
streaming,
can play
but
some Switch games,
that was
and they
fucking amazing.
may run better, possibly. And those that are guaranteed to be an
I got
upgrade,
12 deaths,
you get
no.
to pay 10
Come on,
extra
stay with me.
dollars. Games that came
they're
out
gonna
up
leave.
to 5 years ago,
I don't blame 'em.
you get to pay
That was good.
10
That
extra
was amazing.
dollars to have it run maybe
Heavy duty. Look at the
slightly
big
better.
H.
Incredible. But who cares about those old games? No one cares about
Guys,
old
if you ever
games.
get me,
Old games suck.
if
We hate
anybody
old
out
games
there
over
ever
here.
gets
We're
me a
Zoomers.
gift that
we like new shit.
like
I bet
only
you
requires
there's
one
some
letter,
great
make it an
new
H.
Nintendo
I mean-
games. Right now, there's
Don't
two.
make it a Z,
You got
don't make it a
one,
D, don't make it a
$10
Y, a T.
advertisement,
Make it
and
an H.
two, $80
Are
for
you
Mario
attacking
Kart
me?
World. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. $10 for what is basically a user manual that looks like
why are you
shit
attacking me, bro?
and isn't a video game. It's actually calling it a tech demo is an insult because it's not a game.
go again.
It's the user manual that you have to pay for, but I feel like everyone's already shit on that enough. No one was gonna buy it anyway. Remember Wii Sports? That was free, by the way. One of the most famous games of all time. brought gaming to people who probably would have never played video games otherwise. You know, nothing special. Completely free.
Why are
Came
you
with every
crawling
Wii.
on the loudest
Better
thing
console
in the
every
room?
way. Was actually new and innovative. I'm sure you've never heard of it. Anyway, what about the real first-party game?
Oh, I still have Pocky.
Mario
I
Kart
forgot I have
World.
Pocky. I
Can you
have
believe
cookies
was
and
actually
cream
excited
Pocky,
for
the
this?
best kind.
I'm a simple man. I like open worlds. You get to drive around in your little car.
Just gonna
That's the
pull
point of
those
the
all
game,
out.
is driving around a little car. So I get to drive around in my little car all over this big world. It sounds pretty cool to
There
me.
you go, you can
All they
play
had to
around in the
do
bags
to
and
make
everything.
that
I have my
big world
Pocky.
is sacrifice literally everything that
I really
makes the
don't
game
like
good.
Pocky,
And
though.
that
Pocky
big
is, like,
world
annoying as
is
hell. It was
completely
just
empty.
on the
And
shelf,
there's
and I
no
was like,
reason to drive
I'm
around in it.
hungry.
You get a couple of tiny missions that aren't even tracked on the map and are completely pointless because all you get for them are stickers. You know, stickers, not characters that this game has about 10 fucking thousand of. No, you get stickers. Want to know how you get characters? A couple are unlocked normally by doing the main modes, and the rest are unlocked by a random item that people in basically last place get and doesn't help them at all, and may, not guaranteed, may give you a new character. Who made this? You have this giant open world that has challenges in it, and instead of giving you the only thing you could possibly want, they give you nothing.
Is he
And then the
growling?
thing you want has to be
Puck is, like,
completely
doing, like, a
random.
little kid.
Are you fucking
I've never
with me,
heard a
dog?
cat
Oh yeah, but they have
do that.
costumes too. Surely you unlock those in the big open world.
He's doing, like,
you
little
can,
growls.
if you want to.
Also,
All you have
I got
to
the
do
Dreo
is
fan.
drive into it as a character, then switch
I got
characters
the
and
Dreo
drive
fan
back into the same
for the
thing
stream
about 20
chat.
times with every single character that has that costume. Because not even every
Now my
character
fan
has
is
a costume.
quieter
Wow,
and more
that was
powerful,
fun.
and
totally worth having this giant open world.
number
for.
one
And what did they
purchased
sacrifice for
fan
this
on
giant open
Amazon,
world? Only
apparently.
every single other mode. Because now
I literally
to
look up
justify
reviews for
the
everything I
giant
buy
open
though
world,
before I
every
like make an
track
investment
is
into it,
connected.
because it was like
You have
100
to
something bucks.
play
But
those
it
connecting
was worth it.
tracks, which are literally
like it.
just a straight line.
It's got
They're
LEDs
called
on the back,
intermission
and it
tracks, 'cause
oscillates
they
in every
know they're
direction.
bad. You know, an intermission, when you
it
leave
saves
the
on
theater,
power,
you are not engaging with the
which
content
is
anymore, and they
one of the
force
bigger
you
sellers
to
for me.
play them in the online mode. People found a workaround so that they wouldn't have to play the intermissions anymore, and they patched it out. And how much was that game, by the way? That really good game that I've described? $80? Whoa. That's standard price, though, right? $80? Oh, no. Actually, that's the only game that's $80? That Nintendo has set a new precedent for video games? For
$80
piece of
is like a
shit
cheap
that is
console.
objectively worse than the last one? And let's just
It
talk
just
about
doesn't make
$80.
sense in the
$80 for a
modern
video
age.
game. You know what I actually heard
$80 you
someone say?
could
They
get
say
like something off of
$80
Facebook
for something
Marketplace that
that'll
plays
stay with
games.
you
You can
the
buy a
rest of
PC
your
for
life.
$8.
That's nothing. The fuck are you talking about? These games are dog shit. You know for a fact.
Just talk
You're
the guy
gonna
down.
Play these games.
Make a few trades.
One time and
PC
never
80
think
bucks.
about it ever again. If you don't have brain damage, you're going to play Mario Kart World one time and immediately go back to the last Mario Kart, which was better in every way. Had more tracks, more characters, was more fun. Oh, but didn't have 24 players. You know, 24 players, that makes the game worse because you're just constantly hit by items and you're basically not racing ever. You can literally go from last place to first place in an instant. Nintendo used to be the budget
I'll let them fight.
company.
I'm gonna
used
just
to be
go
able to
away.
get cheaper games.
See,
from
that's
Nintendo,
something
'cause
nobody
they
knows.
knew
The
their
first
games, they
round
weren't
of
less
World Tour
quality, but they had
is the
less
easiest.
budget,
Just let the
so
other team
games
fight.
would cost less. Now these games clearly have less budget.
Nobody
they don't
will
have
ever
as
steal
good of
because they're
graphics,
already fighting.
They don't have as much content, but then they also cost more. $40. That's how much a 3DS game cost at launch. $40. Half
I don't
of
think they
what
saw
Mario
me.
Kart World costs. A technically handheld game. Even if you want to compare it to Wii, a new Wii game, $50 for a game that is higher quality, more fun, will be remembered for longer,
Let them
and
fight.
$30 cheaper. And
This
this
is my little
wouldn't
rest
be
spot.
so
It's just
bad
perfect.
if Nintendo
Nobody comes
games
back here.
ever
None of the
got
enemies come
cheaper.
back here.
In
This is like the
fact,
most
all you have
inconspicuous
to
area.
do is look at Switch 1
Did
games
they just jump off?
on the Switch 2, and you realize the games don't get cheaper, they get more expensive over time. I can't wait for the Switch 3 with Mario Kart World Plus that costs $150. People bringing up inflation
It's just gonna
when it
keep
comes
getting
to
more
$80
expensive.
games is the dumbest
$1,000
fucking thing in the
games.
universe. What
That's
you
what's-
should be comparing the
it's all
price
coming up
to
to
is not the
Nintendo.
literal price 10 years ago. Yeah, sure, they had SNES games that were
Nintendo
$80 and people
sucks.
bought
My
those.
nuts.
But back then, you could buy a house for about $13,000.
Dude, I miss the
now you can
Beavis and
buy a
Butthead
crack
being in the
house
Fortnite
for about
store.
$200,000.
Is that still
Normal
going
people
on,
do
or
not have
can
the
I
extra
not get
income
that
they
anymore?
used to. That's the point. Leisure needs to
I should've
cost
dashed
less.
earlier.
And we know the games
That's like a
don't
good
cost
chunk.
more to make because they look like shit. And they're all online anyway. It's not like they're making discs or cartridges. And if that really is why it needs to be so expensive, make digital games cheaper. Oh yeah, that's the best part of the Switch too. You know all those great games I was talking about? You don't really buy them anymore. That's the thing, you buy a cartridge and then there's no game on it.
Or
What's
it
the
was.
point of that exactly? Well, it's so you can own nothing ever, and they can take anything they want from you whenever they want. Sounds like a real
Fuck, you
good
are
deal
tweaking
for the
right now, my
consumer.
boy.
Sounds like that console is worth $450. The idea of preservation for video games has long since been dead, but Nintendo was the last bastion of just regular ass video games. The other consoles have been doing this game download shit forever. But honestly, Nintendo has raised the bar because at least those other companies, most of the games at least had some of it on the disc. This is
Oh,
literally
I
just
missed
a
that.
key code. So good luck
Puck,
getting
you're
that
being
shit
loud.
when they shut the servers down.
Stop
like
it.
Nintendo does with every
know it's
single one
fun
of
for
their
you,
consoles. You can always
'cause you
buy digital though.
just
Except
wanna
those are game
annoy
parts
me.
too now, which is
Shit.
somehow a benefit to the
Fuck
player
you,
because
Puck.
now you can
Why are
share
you
your
calling
games
right on my
online.
loud shit?
Except you could always do that. You could always just log into your account on another Switch, something you
Problem
can't
solved.
do
And I
anymore.
found another
if
package
you
of
log
Pocky.
into another
Let's go.
account on a different Switch, you have to trade the key card over because your fake cartridge is in the other console right now. It's not real. It's a fucking download. Compare this to like Steam Family Sharing, which already you could just log into your Steam account wherever you want and you get every single game that you have. But you could also just connect your account to anyone else and now you share all your games. Sure, you
Know
can't
your
play the same
strengths.
game at the same time, but that's literally the only limitation. Why this is all so disappointing is the Switch actually has competition now. What the Switch 2 is competing with is the Steam Deck, which is $50 cheaper and is infinitely more open. The Steam Deck,
Aw.
you can play whatever the fuck you want on it, including every single Nintendo
My mouse
game.
got caught
The
on my
Switch 2,
pad.
on the other
I-
hand, plays some Nintendo games.
The waifu
horribly,
gaming
and you
mouse
have to
pad
pay
kind
monthly
of
just
sucks
to get
because
access
the
to
mouse
them,
gets
and
caught
they'll
on it
maybe
so
add
much,
some
and
more
I do
something.
like having
It's just sad
the
to see
palm rest.
Nintendo
It's
get
very
completely
comfy.
outclassed
It's
by
very
someone who's
ergonomic,
just
but I
copying
just
off
don't
of
know.
them. I mean, what innovative features does the Switch 2 have?
I don't know
that
if I
the
can
Steam Deck
game
doesn't?
without
Well,
the
Switch
the
2
bumps,
lets you use
you know what I mean?
the controller as a mouse. Compare that to the inferior Steam Deck, where you can connect
wrist
a
pad or
mouse to
whatever.
it, or a keyboard, or literally whatever you want because it's your system. Normally, at this point, when you're talking about PC versus console, you'd start arguing about
That's good to know. The
exclusives
bottom of
or
the,
price. But the Steam Deck is
smoke
cheaper.
cloud
It
or
has
whatever,
about
the
1,000
poison cloud,
more exclusives than
it's
the Switch
actually
does. The Switch 2 is exclusively dog
not
shit.
good.
You can have
It
Mario
doesn't
Kart,
poison
but
anything.
bad. Or you can have the manual, but
So
expensive
you can't
and
poison
bad.
like in a
Earlier, I
up-down
joked
degree. It's
about
more
a
like a
laptop being
horizontal.
more useful
Fuck.
than the Switch 2. The Steam Deck is that
Who's pouncing
laptop.
on me,
It's
bro?
just a computer, and a computer is infinitely more useful than a dog shit console with no games, no flair, no Nintendo magic that has been featured in every other console they've made. I mean, fuck, dude. It even looks
see
like a
anything.
Steam Deck. It's
Oh.
entirely black. It has
Nobody
no
coming
color,
for us?
nothing to stand out. Can
We're just gonna
literally
keep this
see
one
the
because we're the most
wonder
scary.
disappear. Oh, but the Steam Deck
They're
is
fighting
hard.
over the
It's
other one?
hard. It's just too hard to use. What, do you
Dude,
really
we're so
expect
scary.
people to be able to download an emulator? Are you insane? You can get a
Oh,
virus.
okay, okay,
People
they're-
get what they deserve. Because putting in even 1%
Get off my keyboard.
more effort is not
God,
worth it.
Puck,
$80
please.
game. People would spend $10,000 to not have to do something. I mean, what we're
Puck,
complaining about here
no.
is downloading a program. That's
You
it. And
little
assuming
brat.
you're getting your
Walked
ROMs like
right
everyone
over
else
the
does.
keyboard
That's
twice.
just one
Come
more
the fuck
download.
on.
So 2 downloads.
I put
isn't
him
worth it.
on my
That's
lap
too
and he went
hard.
right back
They
up
would
there, like,
rather
as
pay
soon as
a
I did.
monthly fee for a shittier product, a more limited product. You see, that's why Nintendo will always win. It's not nostalgia.
Why do you do
It's
this?
not man babies. It's not
Fuck.
even your wife's boyfriend who buys the console for you. It's lazy people. Lazy people
That was
are what
fucked
lets
up,
them
man.
win. They could
Fuck,
charge
you just cost us everything.
$900,000, and lazy people would
We're still
still
in first
pay for it.
place. No,
So let's talk
never
about
mind.
emulation
We'll
on
be
the
fine.
Switch too. So obviously you have everything.
It
that
just
was
felt
already
like
on
that. I
Switch
feel like
1,
I'd
which is a limited
caused my whole team
selection
to
of
fucking die just
N64, SNES, NES, GBA, some other shit maybe, I don't remember, that is objectively worse than just emulating it on your computer or the Steam Deck. And now we have
Fuck.
GameCube
Why?
on the Switch
Okay, now
2.
he jumped
You can't
over
run
the keyboard.
GameCube
Why is he
games on
doing
Switch
that?
1. It couldn't handle it. It's too weak. We all know the GameCube was the most
Why?
powerful console of all time, but the Switch 2 can handle it. And the emulation that you have to
And
pay
doesn't
for an
get it.
online service for is worse than you could download on your computer right now. It's complete dog shit. It has extra input lag. The analog stick, they somehow fucked it up. It just doesn't work properly. It's like extra sensitive for no reason. And it comes with about 1/100th of the options of any free emulator on the internet, which means the
Like, I
games
can't get
look
higher.
shittier than
I
they
wish I
have
could
to.
get
But that's
higher.
the
Yeah.
Nintendo way. Pay more for less than you could
What's
get
up with
for
you?
free. In fact, that's the motto of the whole fucking console. I mean, just
Dude,
look
he is
at
tweaking.
Switch Welcome Tour.
He
and
just did like
compare
a
it to
90-degree
Wii
turn
Sports.
in a
You
split
pay
second.
for
Like,
something
Puck
that
is
is worse than you could
tweaking.
get for free. And you know, part of
He
what
is
made the Switch
tweaking,
1
bro.
so great is everything.
Don't
used to
you
be
break
free.
my
If you had
Pocky,
a
this is
little
mine.
know-how, just a little bit, not a lot. You
Leave
get
that
any
alone.
game you ever wanted for free. Now they'll just brick your
Pocky's
ass.
not good unless
They'll
it's a
throw your
solid
console
thing.
in the garbage
Stick.
all the way from Nintendo offices. Now this one, personally, I understand, and it doesn't matter. You really shouldn't be online anyway if you're gonna be.
If you're gonna be fucking around and finding out. Use AI, cite AI. Seth MacFarlane abandoned American Dad. Finale with the bro. Oh, that's the bro. This biking game. Future-proof your internet frontier fire. What the fuck is all these ads? What is wrong with YouTube? My page used to be full of things I'm subscribed to. We climbed the back rooms, bro. Yeah. 205,000 views in 3 hours. We climbed the back rooms, man. Fucking. China reaction to ISO show speed? What?
iShowSpeed just wrapped up his huge streaming in China adventure, and if you think
Get
they just
away
made a
from
big
my
splash over here,
keyboard,
you
Puck.
got another thing coming. What if I told you what you think you know about his China tour is just the tip of the iceberg? His trip was filled with drama
just
that
heard
only
you
Chinese people
make a
could see.
grumble.
So today I want to
Go in the
reveal the raw,
sandbox.
unfiltered Chinese
heard
internet's
that.
reaction that most Western audiences never witnessed. Behind the scenes moments like Speed being nicknamed Hyperthyroid Bro, the ill-intended shit-stirring interpreter, the disappointing last stop, and what happened to Uncle after Speed left. All of this sparked intense
Puck can't be
controversies on
trusted.
Chinese social media. So let's
He
dive
knows
into
to
it.
go in the sandbox. The litter box or whatever. Like, he knows to do that.
I'm really thankful for Speed and
He knows it's a good thing. He like gives me a little head and butt fist
Before we get
bumps.
to all the big drama and the general public's response, let's talk about some official Chinese media outlets because they embraced Speed's
man,
visit. It was
fucking
celebrated.
Puck.
I'm talking
What are you doing?
unprecedented levels of attention for a young foreign influencer. Okay, a lot of people were surprised by the apparent lack of official monitoring during Speed's shenanigans. But of course, the government knew exactly.
Where's
what was
everybody
up.
getting these
The Foreign
horns?
Affairs
You see the
Ministry
horns?
officially commented,
直播，全景展现一个没有剪辑、滤镜的真实状态，欢迎更多外国朋友走进春天里的中国。
while state media CCTV featured extensive coverage.
在吃火锅时被辣出了表情包。
China is becoming increasingly confident to show both the good and the bad without too many filters to some extent. Yes, some areas of the country remain much more restrictive. Had he gone to certain places within Xinjiang or Tibet, it would have looked very different. But yeah, newsflash, you can indeed freely visit China. There are no fake tours like in North Korea with people following you every step if you're a normal tourist. That's why they have just recently opened visa-free visits to so many countries.
a German passport, visa-free. It's the best.
Over
What are you
20
doing,
million
Puck?
foreigners entered China, up more than 112% year on
They
year.
want ordinary people to see the real China, breaking down some of the caricatures that have shaped people's impression for decades. It's free publicity, and Speed delivered that brilliantly.
这个 YouTuber 啊，远超过所有的媒体的影响。
Now, what was the general reaction to his trip? For those who watched from China, it was overwhelmingly positive. His journey showcased lots of China's bright side and significantly boosted the country's international image, making Chinese citizens very proud. I know there are tons of people who seriously underestimate how big of a deal this was. Love him or hate him, you can't just say, oh, big deal. Some dude running around the China like a madman, who cares? You're wrong. China cares. They care a lot. Getting unfiltered China in front of millions of young Westerners is a huge win for them.
难怪美国网友震惊。
I knew I
我在
shouldn't
难
have
闻的纽
fucking
约
stood
地铁里
still.
刷不出文字，你却在中国时速350千米的高铁上 2K 直播不掉线。
No amount of marketing dollars could replace this. Even in our neck of the woods, the media covered it overall pretty positively.
Speed's China tour is going viral for unforgettable moments. Over the weekend, he also performed that
I have to get
backflip
back.
there on the Great Wall of China, impressing fans and Chinese media.
Perhaps, maybe, hopefully, the day has come when people think of China, they will finally not just think of, Beijing leadership or military parades, but faces of real Chinese people like Uncle, Master Liang, or the Shaoxing girl who sounds like Pikachu. The outpouring of gratitude wasn't just because Speed portrayed China positively,
I
but
see
due to
him.
his genuine personality and respectful approach.
Honestly, seeing an American connect with Chinese people like this, it gave me so much hope, especially with how crazy the war is right now.
I talked about that a little bit already when I covered his trip to Shaolin, but to be honest, this connection he has to the locals isn't just unique to China. Wherever he travels, he transforms encounters into wholesome moments that bridge cultures. No other way to put it. So, the positive reaction was expected and aligned with what the CCP wants, but is there another side to the story? Despite his massive views, Speed isn't actually well known in China at all. At least he wasn't until now. His followers represent just a tiny fraction of China's vast online culture. There's no YouTube, no Google, no Facebook, no X, so many other sites. They don't exist in China. They're not accessible. They got their own stuff going on anyways. They got Weibo,
And cost in the game.
Bilibili, whatever. And before you say it, no, VPNs are not officially
No.
allowed, and using them can
We gotta
result in a
switch
fine
it up.
or even in jail.
You're coming to China, you gotta make sure you can't access all the internet that you want. So make sure you have a VPN ready.
A lot of Chinese people do use it. I bet there are a bunch of Chinese people watching right now using it, huh? Caught you, huh? Or subscribe.
Using it.
Unfortunately.
Caught you,
But you're probably
huh?
gonna be okay if you keep it
I
low
like
key
the
and
way
do
this
stuff.
guy
But being
talks.
so openly pro-internationalism inside the Chinese
True.
internet, that can be problematic for Chinese citizens who might be labeled as pretentious or traitors. The phrase "Chongyang Mei Wai," worship
Fuck,
and foreign
now we're
things,
saw it as
captures
like the
sentiment,
weak
often
ones are gonna
accompanied
come
with
for
a, "If
us."
you love the West so much, go live there." Oh, you don't like this particular thing about our country? Why don't you leave? You will find similar stupidity in most other countries too. So our first big L in the chat was the center of Chinese people's wrath right from the start. Miles Moreno.
There they are.
Antonio Margariti. This Chinese-American Vietnamese influencer, known for promoting Chinese culture through his floral outfits and street interviews, faced severe backlash when he served as Speed's translator in Beijing. He told Speed his fans were screaming like animals and was accused of deliberately mistranslating to embarrass Speed. Sorry, his locks can be delicate for me to cut. I don't want to ruin it. And how did he translate it? Huh, Miles?
My bread.
Your hair is too raggedy. You can't.
Really? He didn't say that.
You
Oh, he's
devious,
reviving me. Okay,
two-faced,
sweet.
lying little beautiful man.
It was not as bad as I
And his
thought.
apology that he posted on April 1st, explaining his playful and teasing humor, actually backfired on him. The damage was done.
你也道歉了，你说脏辫的翻译只是开个玩笑，你那像开玩笑吗？我们是蠢货吗？
The Chinese government might leave you alone, but proud Chinese citizens will come for you if you're disrespectful. As a fellow content creator, I totally get your point, your idea of trying to spice up the stream, but dude, making people sound rude to Speed isn't fair to anyone involved.
So he's saying my hair is fucked up, basically.
No, I mean, he's not doing a direct translation. I was doing a direct translation.
That type of stuff doesn't make the streams more fun. It's just weird, and you're baiting for controversy on your own ass. And to be honest, I don't really know Speed. He wasn't on my radar until he went to China. He doesn't need that kind of stuff to make his streams entertaining. Let that be his concern. How about that? Drama number 2. The Toilet Channel in Green Goblin, Mango TV. Changsha, the last stop of Speed's visit and intended grand finale, infuriated Chinese netizens more than anything else before. It all started with this restaurant chain owner who came to leech publicity.
Ambush!
Unlike Uncle's wholesome persistence, this weird guy was aggressive, annoying, intrusive, like a spoiled brat, even threatening Uncle on camera.
That was sad.
I'm boss, move, or I'm gonna show up at your door.
来了一个人，俺们不死，我们都是同行。 我们要相互尊重。你给我起来，不然的话，明天我去重庆找你。
Bruh, big L for tiny mafia boy. Chinese internet users ruthlessly mocked his appearance as Nan.
I'm just not even
which
trying.
usually just means everybody.
I'm
It's
just
kind of a
not.
Genius
And
word.
it's
his word
fucking obvious.
literally means male, female, old, young. And calling him Green Goblin, making AI memes of him.
I'm so
Also, they
distracted by
remodeled his
everything
already
right now,
struggling
Remy.
restaurants. Yikes. Shout out to his family. That's what you get, bro.
Potentially terrifying intelligence of the orangutan. Okay, so see this sounds good. This sounds like a good video. I like this. I like this title. I like that a lot. Terrifying intelligence.
Don't always choose peace, but in 2014, one shocked scientist when she not only orchestrated the life canceling of another, she essentially hired a hitman to do it. The hairy honey trap was executed by a young female named Condor, and the victim was a mother 20 years older
fucking trick
named
him?
Sedona,
That
living
is
in the
trick that
swamp
guy?
forests of
That is
Indonesia's
trick that
smallest
fucking
reserve.
guy.
The two had beef going back
That was
all the way
good.
to 2009, with Condor curiously approaching Sedoni's at the time 7-year-old daughter, and Sedona
God, that was funny.
defensively smacking and biting Condor before chasing her off. The perceived insolence stuck with Condor, and the disrespect was tattooed into her psyche. She was not letting that slide. Years later, Condor would catch the eye of a male named Echo, and the two would eventually run into Sedoni. They both approached, and Echo seemed to inspect Sedoni, who was now jockeyed by her 4-year-old son. Echo seemed curious in the mother, before losing interest and proceeding to mate with Condor. Right in front of Sedoni.
Oh, I love it.
Passion or power play,
I
but
love
either
this
way,
gun.
when Sedoni tried exiting the situation,
It's a good gun.
Condor escalated, ending the lovemaking and savagely beating Sedoni.
You just have
But
to
what
run
blew
right up
researchers
to
away
people.
was Echo going from
Just
bystander
right up
to
to-
participant. For 33 minutes, the two took turns beating on Sedoni, sometimes together, sometimes just Condor, with Echo blocking off any escape routes. It was an honest to Abe jumping, and his much larger canines meant Echo inflicted the bulk of the damage. The pair didn't stop until a fourth orang, a male named Guapo, chased Echo off and ran defense for Sedoni, before mating with her. The Orange Night would be too late, as a little over 2 weeks later, Sedoni became past tense due to her injuries, and scientists were left wondering what they had just witnessed. In over 26,000 hours of observation, only 6 female on female attacks were recorded, and none caused serious
They're killing as a
injuries.
group
Yet here
right now.
was a spiteful orang
That's why they're
leveraging her
fucking
carnal
getting
urge,
us.
specifically to erase one of her rivals, and Echo acting as a hired gun. Premeditated and personal, it was a shockingly dark look into the intelligence of the Forest Man. One that begs the question, just how smart are they, and
Dark
just
look
what could
into
they be
the
capable of?
intelligence.
To say orangutans are intelligent is honestly disrespectful, because this
Fuck.
tree-happy ginger ape is damn near human. That is an animal that can 100% speak. They just really don't want to deal with taxes, and that's only partially a joke. Their name,
Was I hot micing that whole round?
literally
I didn't even
translates
press
to
K.
man of the forest, because
When did I
locals
press
swore
K?
they were plus-size people that chose not to speak because they know then they'd have to get jobs. In 2014, a court in Argentina actually granted
LV
human
video
rights to
stream.
Sandra the
Bye.
orangutan
Chat.
after 20 years of captivity. There's a cute
Farewell.
saying that goes, if you give a chip a screwdriver,
Wait, were you
it'll use
able
it
to
as
hear
a
my
weapon.
fan the whole
A
time?
gorilla would accidentally break it. A bonobo
Oh,
would
no.
become the screwdriver, but an
Oh,
orangutan,
no.
he'd hide
We're gonna
it,
fix
use it to
this.
dismantle
Hang
his
on.
cage and then let all his
I'm
friends
using
out.
the stream
There's a
to
bunch
fix
of
this
reasons
right
for
now.
this brainy Bigfoot, and one of them is them being the biggest mama's boys on Earth. No other mammal spends more time with its mother, except humans. In the up to and often over 10 years of being her shadow, baby orangs learned everything about how to orangutan. Not only that, but daughters often live around their moms even after having their own baby. This means orangutans are one of the few animals that have a legitimate culture, and what we see is a sum of generational wisdom passed down. In 2022, a notorious Sumatran male named Raucus
It
was
seems like
using a medicinal plant
not
to help
picking
heal
up
a
on-
face
I-
wound he'd gotten in
I can't
a fight.
tell,
The 30-something
but you know
year-old
what? I'm
applied
just
the
gonna
chewed-up paste
oscillate
with
it, like,
Acargunning, an
side to side.
anti-inflammatory,
And
antibacterial flowering plant traditionally
I thought
used to
that this
treat
would
malaria
fix
and diabetes.
things,
Raucus
but maybe
applied the
I'm
paste for 7 minutes until it covered his wound,
a
and
bit
5
daft.
days later, it was completely healed. It's
I
not the
don't
first time we've
understand
seen animals
what's going
self-medicate.
on.
Parrots will eat clay to detox from all the leaves, and elephants will apparently eat certain plants to induce labor. But what made Raucus so radical is the simple
tilt
fact
it
that they
slightly
rarely eat that plant to begin with.
downwards.
There's more evidence
Maybe
of
it'll
orangs
fix it. Anyway,
self-medicating with the same plants
good
used
screen.